Good, happy Monday evening. Is Monday, August 8th, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Monday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's get started. But first, let's go to your weather with meteorologist Matt Honing. And Matt Honing is saying another hot, humid day in New Hampshire. And it is sure hot outside if you step outside. Let's go to that full weather forecast from meteorologist Matt Honing right now.
Another hot and humid afternoon across much of the Granite State. We have heat advisories in effect for much of southern New Hampshire through 8 o'clock this evening. These are the areas where the heat and humidity will combine to make it feel like it's in the upper 90s to close to triple-digit territory later on this afternoon. A hot and humid one, low 90s south, upper 80s farther north today. We will have some clouds developing, and there will be another round of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, much like we saw each afternoon over the weekend. There's a regional look at your temperatures. Some parts of the Merrimack Valley could be in the mid-90s this afternoon, so another very hot one there. A little bit of late-day relief at the seacoast with a very feeble sea breeze. More clouds and showers up through the Great North Woods, and much of Coos County will keep temperatures there in the mid to upper 80s. Notice there may even be a few more downpours and rumbles that roll through the North Country later on this evening. I can't rule out a few spot showers overnight tonight. It's warm and muggy. Temperatures only drop back into the upper 60s and low 70s area-wide. Now, with a cold front settling south tomorrow, it'll sort of set up right over New Hampshire. So this is going to create quite a contrast when it comes to temperatures. With some sunshine, parts of the lower Merrimack Valley and the Monadnock region will easily warm into the 80s to near 90. Meanwhile, areas of steady rain up north keep temperatures there in the 70s. Notice we'll have more of those off and on showers and thunderstorms. So for at least parts of the state, tomorrow will feature a little bit more in terms of relief. All of us will see much lower temperatures by the time we get to Wednesday, highs only in the mid-70s. There will be some showers and thunderstorms, but I don't think either Tuesday or Wednesday are washouts. Finally, that front sinks south of our area Thursday. That means we'll also bring in some lower humidity at that point, and it looks to be very pleasant heading into Friday and the weekend with temperatures staying seasonably cool.
Okay, and there you go on that weather forecast from meteorologist Matt Honing. Thank you for that, Matt. And now, let's get to your news. First up, man accused of kidnapping woman in Bretton Wood found sleeping in a truck in Maine, police say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Well, Jamie, police confirmed to us that 34-year-old Peter Curtis was arrested earlier this morning after leading police in Portland, Maine on a brief pursuit. Now, according to Portland police, Curtis was found asleep in a stolen pickup truck. When officers woke him up, he drove away, leading them on a chase. Now, during that pursuit, he did hit another car, and that driver was also injured. Police were eventually able to stop Curtis and take him into custody. He's wanted for abducting a woman last week on North Road here in Brentwood. Brentwood police tell us he was armed with a gun at the time and kidnapped the woman, who was thankfully later able to escape unharmed. Now, police also tell us Curtis did not know his victim, and it all happened in a public place, which is highly unusual.
It was a situation that was random, which was why it was so alarming and why we went to the press and your help in the first place. We received a great deal of help from all the law enforcement agencies, including the Marshal Service. They were integral in the pursuit of him over the last week and a half. So.
And police tell us that Curtis is a career criminal. He faces numerous charges out of Maine, Massachusetts, as well as New Hampshire. He's scheduled to appear in court in Portland, Maine, a little bit later this week. For now, live in Brentwood, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Defense resist in trial of man charged in Randolph motorcycle crash. Vladimir Zazowski faces negligent homicide and manslaughter charges. The defense resisted Monday in the trial of a man accused of causing a crash in 2019 that killed 7 motorcycle riders. Vladimir Zazowski, 26, is on trial for multiple felony charges in the deadly crash on Route 2 in Randolph. Prosecutors have argued that Zazowski was seen driving across the yellow line before the crash, but the defense has argued the lead motorcyclist who was killed in the crash was at fault. New Hampshire State Police Detective Sergeant testified about the interviews he conducted in the days immediately following the crash, saying the first statement out of club member's mouth was that he was intoxicated. He told police he was following in a car with 2 women at the time of the crash. The defense seized on the intoxication testimony, asking whether the sergeant asked what he had been drinking, where he had been drinking, or whether other motorcyclists had been drinking. The sergeant said he didn't. After the prosecution resisted last week, the judge dismissed 8 charges against Zazowski, alleging that he was impaired at the time of the crash. He is still facing charges accusing him or driving recklessly. Zazowski is facing charges including negligent homicide, manslaughter, and reckless conduct in connection with the crash that resulted in the death of 7 members of the Jarrowhead Motorcycle Club. And here a look at those members. Dartmouth alumnus in town for commencement dead after being found injured on rocky embankment. A 24-year-old succumbed to his injuries at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center. A man was pronounced dead Sunday after he was found severely injured on a rocky embankment under a bridge in Hanover. Emergency services were called at 1:48 a.m. Sunday to get help for the man who was reported to be severely injured on the rocky embankment under the bridge on Ledyard Bridge on West Wheelock Street, police and fire officials announced in a joint news release. Officials said the man, a 24-year-old Dartmouth College alumnus who was in town with his family for the class of 2020 commencement, was taken from the scene via a Dartmouth Department of Safety and Security pontoon boat to awaiting ambulance. He died at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center, officials said. Officials did not identify the man, but they said his next of kin has been notified. The cause of death is being investigated by Hanover police officials said. Work as Learning program provides paid workplace experience for students. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
I have decided to name a new heir. I'm your heir.
A new program from the State Department of Education will provide high school students with paid workplace learning experiences. It's called Work as Learning. Students can make up to $15 per hour while acquiring work and life skills. Half of the wages will be refunded to businesses who take part in the program, funded by COVID relief money.
Short-term employment opportunities that teens have the opportunity to participate in really provide them with a well-rounded amount of skills and capabilities that are going to be useful for them really for the rest of their lives.
I was placed in a classroom as a short-term full-time teacher. I worked with 1-year-olds. I was in the room with 3 other lead teachers, and I got the chance to work with them.
After a successful test run with 25 students just like Kylie, Work as Learning kicks off this fall. Students and businesses can find more information right now on WMUR.com and our mobile app.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sounds like an awesome and great program. Man whose son found dead last week releases a statement. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Jamie, Sean Sweeney took to Facebook saying that he's thanking everyone for outreach and support. He says his name is being dragged through the mud. He also says he's unable to confirm what happened right now. The Facebook post says, quote, "While things will never be normal, again, my body finally shut down and let me get some sleep last night, and I woke up feeling as normal as possible." It continues to say, "My beautiful wife was the most amazing, caring, sweetest, all-around good person that anyone could ever meet, and just how much she loved our boys. It is our job to keep their memories alive." Law enforcement searched areas in Tilton and Northfield Saturday, asking the public to stay away. They say the search was for physical evidence and was part of the investigation, not the result of new information. Officials say there's no danger to the public, but they have not made an arrest in this case. They just say all parties are accounted for. Live in Concord, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Whoops. That's not what we want. Sorry about that, everyone. China sends jets into Taiwan's territory. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Wayfair has everything I need to make my home totally me. Sometimes I'm a homebody. So
tensions rising overseas. Taiwan says China is stepping up its aggression, sending a record number of jets into its territory. Let's go to Bob Woodruff in Taipei. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good morning, Robin. You know, the tensions here are not ending at all. The Chinese military extended their drills surrounding Taiwan for a 5th day today. Taiwan is reporting a record 66 Chinese jets encroached on the island Sunday. 22 of them were detected along the median line in the Taiwan Strait, that narrow strip of water right between Taiwan and the mainland China. As for the Taiwan forces, they say they are monitoring more than a dozen Chinese warships spotted encircling the island. Ireland, and calling the drills this weekend a simulation of a possible attack. Now, these exercises started in response to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visiting Taiwan. Beijing now also is suspending military, climate, and anti-drug trafficking efforts with the U.S. to voice its displeasure. Now, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken saying China should not hold these talks of global importance hostage. Blinken also said the military drills are a significant escalation and calls for China to back down. Robin?
All right, Bob, thank you for your report. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.